Hey guys, welcome. And guess what? We got issue 22. We are rocking and a rolling with this because I have finally got the last package coming in here soon, and I cannot wait to show you guys all the cool stuff that we're going to be doing with this. So without further ado, let's get down to the bench and start working on issue 22. Hey guys, so as we get along with our build here today, all right, we have another frame piece. And since we've already done plenty of these, I'm not going to beat you up with showing you how to put this in again. We also have a few other components as well, but this is the packaging for 83. And so we're just going to move on. Okay, guys, so with our frame here, it doesn't say to do anything just yet, but I'm going to tell you we're going to be adding a light about right here. And we have all the lights already preset, ready to go. That's what step A starts. But we have to add this to the saucer module, and it's going to go in a very unique spot. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead, put that on there, and then show you guys real quick so that way we can move on to the next phase. Okay, so what we're going to do, I already added the light, and now we're going to put the frame in. Frame's just going to go in nice and easy. You still have to be careful of this green and white one. I've already had it kind of taped up to how long I need it to be to get to where I need. However, we still need to make sure that that white and yellow, the white and green here stay along here, so that way we can move it back and forth if we need to adjust it or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Remember, BM screws here, BM screws here, FM screws along here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 FMs and then 8 of the BMs. Okay, so we have all of our lights on. Everything is checking out. Everything looks pretty good. So what we're going to do now that we have both of our frame on this side, all the lights need to be in. I also plugged them in. They're not really where they're supposed to go according to this book, but I think it's just a typo. So without further ado, what we're going to do now is just move on to stage 84, and we'll pretty much be halfway done this video. So let's just get on with it, and we're going to start putting some panels on. All right, guys, nothing big here. All we have is another panel that we're going to be putting together and some windows. And I'm pretty sure now that we've gotten so far onto this video, some of you are kind of just annoyed with these windows. But lo and behold, we should have only a few more of these long panels that will be going on, and then we'll be able to bounce on to something else. So what I'm going to do real quick to save us time out of this stage is I'm just going to go ahead and build the window, and then we'll move on to stage 85, because 85, obviously we have our little panel here, and then these that are going to go here, and it's all simple dimple, and then we have some lights to put on. So I'm just going to go ahead, put all this together, and come back to you. Okay, so I put this in. We have a little bit of a gap here. I don't know why or how, but somehow there seems to be a gap. So what I'm hoping is that it'll all come together once we start putting this side together. I'm assuming if it does not, then we got some really cool stuff that I'm going to put in between here to kind of seal that up so we don't get the light leaks. I was able to fix a little bit here on this. There's like a little lip that was there. I was managed to get some of that down, but for now I got our panel in and we're good to go. So we're going to move on to our next part. Our next part's nothing too special, but we finally have to cover up our light here. All right, so we're just going to pop this into place. Now there is a light that has to go in there. There's 2 slots for it, and that's going to be these 2 cords. You're going to put the green and yellow here and the red and black in here. So I'm going to go ahead, put all that in, and then I'll put our BP screws in. Okay, so now that that is in, we're good to go. And I already did a little light test, and everything checks out to be pretty good. Okay, guys, so this one is going to be stage 85. We still have stage 86 left to go. I mean, this is crazy, right? But anyway, we have another panel that we got to put in. We got some more lights that are going to go into our part over here, and we have some escape pods. And finally, it looks like that yellow sensor or thruster, whatever you guys want to call them, is going to be able to be mounted here soon. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead, put the panel together, place it onto the saucer module, show you it all completed. Then we'll add this to our other item here, and then we'll see what's next in store for us today. Okay, and here it is, guys. It's in. We have our little yellow little piece here. It's in. Everything is snug as a bug. Everything's smooth on the other side. I've already checked it. Now, I haven't been able to flip this over to kind of show you guys the other side again to see how all this looks on the other side. I'm kind of saving that for the big reveal because I just want to keep you guys apprised on what we're focused on, which is putting these panels for the lower half of the saucer section. So without further ado, let's get on to our next part, okay? Of course, for this stage 85, all it was just put this panel in. So we're not even going to show you how we did it because we already did it on this side. So we're going to move on, and we're going to go to stage 86. If you're just tuning in or you just kind of fast forwarded, we still have this phaser array here that is going to be for the bottom half of the secondary hull. You need to kind of hold on to this, don't lose it, because we're going to be putting this back on to it as well. Now it seems like it comes with some springs later on, maybe, I don't know, maybe we won't have springs for this one, but just kind of keep it in mind that this needs to stay off to the side so that way you don't lose it. Other than that, let's go on to stage 86. So here it is, stage 86. As you can see, we have another panel, lights, side front panels, lifeboats. I'm gonna go ahead, put it together, and I'll come back and show you it all done. Okay, before I sealed it up, I wanted you to see that it is a bit of a pain. When you put this piece in, it's going to take you some time. Of course, with this video, I took away the time and I just managed to put it to the side. But it took me about a good 15 to 30 minutes just to finagle this, then figure out how to get this to stay in place. I used some tape to kind of hold the wire down. I had to do a little maneuvering because it doesn't fit exactly the right way. But I got the panel and everything. There was a little bit of a hiccup on the other side. I couldn't get it to connect in, but I had no problems. So now that all that's done and I'm pretty satisfied with it, I'm going to go ahead and attach our escape pod cover to cover that screw up. And then we'll move on to our next little part of this video. All right, and there it is. It's all in, nice and snug with all of our others. And we're doing pretty good, guys. This saucer module here is coming along really nice. I'm pretty sure in our next video we're going to be worried about this side of the saucer. If not, then we're probably just going to finish up on this side, and then they'll make us come back to the other side. But for now, let's move on to our next part so we can enjoy what we're doing. Okay, guys, so of course what do you have next is just this piece right here. We're going to go ahead, mount it on. It's going to lock in place like that. Now we also have our lights just like before. The black is going to go here and the green and yellow will go actually the green and yellow for this one is going to go on the bottom, and the black and red will go here at the top. So we're doing pretty good here, guys. So we're just going to go ahead, mount these in, get these lights going, and then we'll screw these in with some BP screws, and then we'll see what's next. Okay, so we put the 5 BP screws in, and we're doing pretty good here, guys. We got all these wires and everything. Just remember, there's 3 wires that are going for this. It looks pretty good. We flip it over to the other side. You can see everything looks pretty crisp and clean, and I'm pretty impressed with it. So without further ado, we're going to go over to step E. Now, of course, with step D, they do want you to check the lights one more time, but I'm pretty sure we're pretty good to go. I did check these before I mounted them in, so I'm pretty content with it. So without further ado, let's go on to step E here. All right, so now that we have this step here, all right, step E, we have to take these four out, okay, because we have to move this. We're going to kind of move it off to the side is what they want, so that way we can mount on some pieces here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, which is something that I brought up in a video before, because when you look over on this side, see how there's two like screw holes here? I knew at some point we're going to have to move this. So we're probably going to move it right back to where it is, but for now, we need to make it so that we can get to these these two screw holes here, so we can mount on some other stuff. So, I mean, I take that back, probably like three screw holes, but more than likely, we just got to get to these screw holes. So I'm going to go ahead, move this computer panel here, or light panel, and we're going to go ahead and show you. So now that I have moved those panels open, you can see how it's wide open now, ready to go for some more pieces. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring back our little piece here, which is the back side of the ship where the nacelles will be mounting up. So what we're going to do is you got to kind of get this upside down. You got all these goofy wires, okay? All these goofy wires are going to come out through these two openings here, so that way they can mount back on to here. But in order to get this to mount on, there's some screw holes here and here that we're going to be using, and a few others that'll actually mount this to our top half here. So what's basically going to happen is we're just gonna, kind of like so, mount it on just like that, and then we'll get it in here and screw it on nice and tight. All right, so let me just move these wires around so we can put it all together, guys. All right, should be real simple, and that's how we do it. We got one here on the right hand side, and then we have two here on our left hand side. But when you flip it over, obviously those things will definitely change up, but for all intents and purposes, this is how you're going to want it to look. So what's next is that we're going to grab some DP screws, because remember the piece that we're attaching to is plastic from this metal frame, and then we're going to attach these DP screws in two locations. Okay, these two locations are right here, so I'm going to narrow it down there for you, right there and right there. Once those two are mounted in, this is pretty much then going to be secured to our back piece. Now, you're probably wondering, is this really solid or not? But we're going to find out. Other than that, let's move on and get those DP screws right now. I've gotten those two DP screws in, and it looks really good. However, now you got this big gaping hole right here, right, of all this stuff. Well, guess what's coming in? We have our huge panel here. They're going to come in. So what they want us to do is basically you're going to want to flip this over, okay? And you can see how this is starting to really come together. They want us to basically bring these on through, but the way that they want them to come on through is through the two back squares here, this square and this square, and then and then we're going to mount them on to the inside there. So kind of sort of what's going to happen is you have this piece, all right, red and black, and then the green one. The green one is going to go through here, then your red and black will go through here, and then red, black, and green one will go through here, because they have to fit. All right, so you kind of want to make sure that all that's going to fit right on through there. And then our next phase, of course, is to flip this over. So you kind of want to rest it in here, and then run it a little slow so that way you can get to these wires. All right. Now, I'm noticing some issues here with just trying to follow these instructions because, you know, it just seems like a lot here. Like I don't really foresee how this is going to work, but I'm gonna give it a shot and I'm gonna come back and show it to you guys. Okay, so I worked some magic. I didn't go through the same holes that they described. I put it through these two because it just seemed to be popping up and I didn't want to take the risk. Now, our next goal, once all that's done, is to knock out some CP screws and some DP screws. The DP screws are going to be here towards the center, and our CP screws are going to go along the outside, which is going to seal in our center piece here. So hang with us, guys. Okay, so there was a lot more DP screws than I thought. All right, we had to put a DP screw over here, DP screw over here, one here, and then of course the DP screws that were here. We had a DP screw that goes here, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 4 CP screws that had to go in. So all in all, we are looking pretty good. We now have to take our light panel here, or our little computer panel here, whatever you want to call this, but where our little lights are going to connect, and we're going to start putting all these in place. All right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead, put the FM screws, which they gave us replacements, but I like to reuse stuff, so we're going to use the same screws, put these back on in the same exact spot that we originally had it. We're going to put it right back in there. And then once we do all that, we're going to start attaching the cords. And then I'll show you what all they go once we get this screwed in. Okay, guys. So now that all that's done up, we've got all of our cables in and everything. That was quite the episode right there. Just putting all that together, and I did a little tucking of the wires, kind of moving them around a little bit, just to kind of make it look a little neater. Of course, once all this is sealed up, it doesn't matter how these wires look, but for me, I like them to look a little neat. So, like, later on, if I want to make changes to it or whatever, it's easier to maneuver around and pull some cords out if need be. But without any further ado, I kind of want to flip it over because I think we need to see what it looks like on the other side. Oh boy, wow. Look at that. I mean, that looks nice. I mean, wow, that looks nice. Okay. So, of course, the black marker here, this black tape that I have, it is just a holding place for our rear marker lights. I didn't want them to get undone or anything or to be lost. But wow, holy moly, that looks nice. I mean, whoo-wee. Wow. Okay. So it doesn't seem like there's going to be any light leaks compared with this. However, if there is any, we'll address them as we go along. But I'm not foreseeing any kind of light leaks here. So, I mean, let's just hope so. Other than that, I'm going to move on and basically get out of here because our video is pretty much done. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you when we come back with some more of Build the Enterprise D.